Hey guys, it's Sam with 2Ms and welcome to this MYXclusive interview. As you guys can see, I have a very special guest here with me. He is such a fresh talent who definitely gives us all the vibes with his music, and he's here to talk about how he's been, his latest EP, and everything in between. Everyone, please welcome Austin. Woo!
How's it going, everyone?
Hi, Austin. Thank you for joining us today.
Yeah, thanks for having me. This is an awesome opportunity.
I know we're like literally on different sides of the world right now. So just for everyone watching,
Right.
Austin is calling us from LA and we're obviously in the Philippines. So thank you so much for joining us. How have you been? How's life?
Man, it's been pretty great recently. I
Mm-hmm.
mean,
Mm-hmm.
the world's somewhat opening up again,
Yeah.
and it's starting to feel somewhat normal. I don't know if
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it'll feel incredibly normal soon, but I mean,
Mm-hmm.
it's better than nothing. But other than that, just got my EP out. It's been a very long time, so I'm so happy for that. Yeah, just to get some music to the fans and everyone. I feel like they deserve it, and it's not like me to hold on to it for too long. So yeah, just very happy with that
I
and trying to promote it, get it to people's ears.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, music is one of those things that I feel like we've all leaned on during this time. And it's crazy, like with everything that's happened in the world, you're still able to put out music. I mean, it's so crazy that
Right.
all of this had to happen too. But I'm sure you've also had other ways to kind of deal with everything that's going on. Music, obviously, one of them. But what were the other things that you kind of did to kind of, keep your sanity throughout this time?
Honestly, I'm a really big gamer, so like
Hmm.
I was able to connect with my friends that way, all across the country or whatever, and just it it kind of filled the void of like the social aspect of going out all the time, which was super hard to do throughout
Hmm.
the whole COVID thing. So
Hmm.
that's that's something that I think really helped. It's not anything that I really
Hmm.
ever thought of, but looking back
Hmm.
on it, is for sure like filled the void, which was great. I
Hmm.
mean, there were plenty of times, especially when it first kicked in, I was like, I'm gonna go crazy. Um,
Hmm.
and I honestly didn't write a lot of music during
Hmm.
during the whole lockdown stuff.
Hmm.
But within the past 6 months, I've been writing a lot of stuff.
Hmm. Definitely. I feel like we all kind of went through that. Like, we're kind of like, oh no, what are we going to do with our life and don't want to do anything. And then after a while, you kind of get sick of not doing anything. So you kind of
Right.
get back into like the rhythm of trying to find new things to do or do other things. So that's really cool that, we've all kind of experienced that same thing. So what was for you like that thing that really made you want to write again and create music again?
Honestly, before we started rolling out this EP, we took a
Mm-hmm.
12-month break. Me and my
Mm-hmm.
team just decided to, sit down for 12 months and
Mm-hmm.
figure things out, especially outside of music. The more you get into the industry, the more it becomes, more than music,
Mm-hmm.
which can be hard to like wrap your head around. Especially for me, it was like, I was just a kid in my bedroom, my parents' house, trying to make music, and then it became this,
Mm-hmm.
which is amazing. But I think when we started putting out music again, it's whenever, seeing the support from the fans and the response, it just makes you want to keep writing. Because it's
Mm-hmm.
an amazing feeling just seeing how, you know, the music and whatever you create can affect somebody like that, and can mean a lot to someone else. Because,
Mm-hmm.
at the end of the day, artists create for themselves, but
For
it
sure.
is nice to have that, other effect on others and see it mean like a lot to someone else.
Yeah, I can imagine like creating music as an artist. I mean, that's like a very personal experience because it's like, stuff
Totally.
that you create and putting it out there and having other people relate to it can be like a trippy experience, I can imagine, because it's like, whoa,
For
like
sure.
you understand like what
Yeah.
literally my soul is saying. So that's so cool that, you've grown so much throughout this time too. But let's kind of go back to the beginning, especially. You kind of already went into it, like how you started making out music, but how did you know like this is exactly like what you wanted to do?
Honestly, that's tough. I just feel like I
Mhm.
never had my eye on anything else, to be honest with
Oh,
you. Like
really?
I
Mhm.
was yeah, my dad kind of like he kind of pushed me in the direction of music, and he was a drummer. I grew up playing drums, and for as long as I can remember, I thought I was going to be a drummer, for the rest of my
Oh,
life. And
yeah.
I don't know what the future holds.
Mhm.
You know, maybe I'll be drumming when I'm like 60 years old or something. I don't know. But
Yeah.
either way, I think I think it's just never had a plan B.
Mhm.
Just had that, fell in love with it. Um, Obviously I had to choose between certain things. I
Mhm.
was doing sports in middle school and like early
Mhm.
high school, and just I don't know. I think I just naturally leaned towards music. I made certain decisions that just pushed me that way, and it was very natural,
Mhm.
which was nice. But I mean, like I said, the response from the fans and everything just
Mhm.
really confirms that this is what I'm supposed to be doing, and this is what I'm meant to
Mhm.
be doing. So it's a great feeling.
Oh, I love that. Like, that's like so crazy. Like, this was like the thing that you've always wanted to do. Like, no really plan B, and you're really running with it now. And to see how much, is really paid off for you too. Like, for example, like having the Philippines, our country, as one of the top countries who listens to your music.
Right.
That's so crazy. We're all the way on the other side of the world. So how does that feel for you, especially as someone who, you knew like this was what you had to do?
That it's honestly so insane. I actually remember getting like my first 1,000 plays,
Mhm.
and just being incredibly like freaked out. Just being like,
Mhm.
it's one thing to look at the number 1,000, but to picture like 1,000 people, like if you put 1,000 people in a room and you look at all of them, you're like, oh my gosh, that's a ton of people. Um,
Mhm.
so just thinking about like that many people that are across the world that have, never
Mhm.
even met you, have no association with you other than just like the love for just music, and just like I think it's like I said, it's just hard to wrap my head around. Just thinking about it, especially because I've never actually even been to like I've never left like North America. I've been to
Mhm.
Canada.
Yeah.
2019 did a little opening
Mhm.
run there, and
Mhm.
yeah, I've never been outside the country other than that, which
Mhm.
is absolutely insane. That my music can have an effect like that across the world. So
Mhm.
I think it's a beautiful thing. Music
Mhm.
is an amazing thing and just brings all types of people together.
Definitely. And we can't wait till we get to actually have you over the Philippines. I'm telling you now, it's going to be a
Totally.
lot of fun. We
I'm so
sing
ready.
really well.
I
We
thank you very
sing really
much.
well.
Thank
So we
you.
would love to have you whenever the time is, when it's possible already. So hopefully in the next year or two or something, when
Of
things open up
course.
again, we would love to have you. But I'm sure a lot of people are wondering too, like you grew up around music. Like you said, your dad was a drummer, but like finding your own sound as an artist is also very different from obviously the influences that you were surrounded by. So what would you say were the things that really influenced you as an artist, especially the music that you make?
Honestly, when I first started writing, obviously I've been playing
Mhm.
drums and stuff.
Mhm.
I was going through school, learning
Mhm.
the ins and outs of like, you know, the other parts of music that not a lot of
Mhm.
people get to see. Um, but around that time, I think I was in college, and I was really finding my like music preference almost, and I came across a
Mhm.
lot of R&B and B and pop music that
Mhm.
was really cool. And one person that really stuck out to me, Black Bear.
Yes, I love Blackberry.
Um, yeah, honestly, I really connected with his music, and just
Mhm.
loved the way he was able to like tell a story, and just
Mhm.
but it just was so smooth. And I think I'd been singing for about 2 years before then, or about a year before then, and just decided I'm like, yo, I've been producing for a little bit, so I was like, I'm just gonna, try to hop on the track and see what I can do in that similar style. And
Mhm.
if you listen to my first few songs that are on Spotify and Apple Music or whatever that are
Mhm.
out wherever, um, you can kind of hear that influence. I think over the
Mhm.
past year or two, I've kind of like shifted to my own sound,
Mhm.
which can be tough, but I think it just naturally shifted, and I think it's relieving to like
Mhm.
hear a song back and just hear you rather than like hearing your influences. Um,
Mhm.
so I think it was quite the journey, but Black Bear was definitely my biggest inspiration when I came into writing.
Hmm. I love that. We stand the growth. I feel like, especially in the last year, we had so much time too to kind of
Totally.
just like explore and experiment art and especially like explore our creative sides as
Hmm.
people. So for you, Austin, like now after everything, and you said that more often now you're really sounding like yourself as an artist. How would you describe your sound as an artist?
I think it's a little bit of I think it's a pop approach with a
Mhm.
R&B delivery on vocals. I love R&B's like my one true love. when it
Mhm.
comes to being a listener. I
Mhm.
love just like a good neo soul or R&B song, just a classic.
Mhm.
Even the new stuff is really really cool.
Mhm.
But also I think I mostly enjoy like when I make a song and I hear like, the pop version of myself, I'm like, I really enjoy that side a little bit
Mhm.
more. But I want to, I want those influences to come across and
Mhm.
sprinkle a little bit of jazz in there too, because it'd be a shame. I went to school for jazz for about a year and a half, so it's nice
Yeah.
to, it'd be a waste not to, have dabble in that a little bit in my music. So
Definitely. But now hearing you now like talk about the kind of music that you make with like the pop and like the jazz delivery, but also a little bit with the R&B delivery, but also a little bit of jazz. I can definitely see how you kind of balanced everything in your latest EP, which is It's Not That Serious. I feel like
mhm.
that's really where you're able to showcase the sound that you've really made for yourself. So I want to talk more obviously about the EP. I do want to start with the song, the title of the EP, because it's also a song of off of the EP. So why did you choose this one? It's Not That Serious as the title for the EP.
uh Honestly, I think when I was back on tour in 2019,
Mm-hmm.
back in the fall, it was an interesting time. It's my first tour ever. I was learning a lot
Mm-hmm.
about myself.
Mm-hmm.
I'm naturally just like an introverted guy, so
Mm-hmm.
being on the road for about a month and a half was a big test for me. And I don't know how it popped in my head, but I just
Mm-hmm.
somehow just like It's Not That Serious popped up. I was supposed to get it tattooed back then, but I ended up getting it
Mm-hmm.
tattooed on my hand recently, which was
Wow.
the cover art. But
Yeah.
it's kind of ironic because like hand tattoo, it's not that serious or whatever. But um, yeah, I don't know that it's stuck with me for almost 2 years. So, and I think I put out an EP in 2019, but after
Mhm.
that there was no more projects. So I knew
Mhm.
I wanted my next project to be centered around that. And
Mhm.
the songs on the project they're kind of all over the place in terms of like the
Mhm.
sound of them.
Mhm.
Obviously they all have my voice on them, so there's that
Mhm.
consistency. But like the instrumentals behind them and the way they're like put together, they're all kind of very unique to each other.
Mhm.
And I think that plays into the title of the EP. It's not that
Mhm.
serious. I know a lot of people are like really really focused on dialing in like a certain sound that
Mhm.
they're really good at, but
Mhm.
I just I just took it to a bunch of different sounds to see what I could do with it, and just that was the EP.
I love It's Not That Serious. I had like a totally different idea of what it meant. But
Right.
now that you kind of explained what it is, like, life is really not that serious. Like everything
Totally.
about it, you don't have to take it seriously. So I think that's a great reminder and a great way to put, how we should approach life. And I totally know what you mean about like being an introvert, because I can be introverted too. So thinking like, it's not that serious is definitely something that can help all of us. But I love that you said too, in terms of music, especially because I feel like a lot of artists, somewhat feel pressured to sound a certain way or to do certain things with their music. But you said with this EP, it's kind of a lot of things in one project. So for you, what was like your favorite thing about creating the EP, or what was it like creating the EP and kind of putting everything together?
So these were actually the first 5 songs that I created,
Hmm.
or wrote
Hmm.
whenever I moved to LA. Uh,
Hmm.
I moved to LA back in the summer of 2019. So
Hmm.
I've been here for almost 2 years. Actually, it's past 2 years. I've been saying 2 years for a couple months now, but yeah, it's been a
Yay.
little over 2 years. And I actually, when I moved here, I didn't write a lot of music. I was like very
Hmm.
uncomfortable. It was my first
Hmm.
time living away from home, and was just really adjusting to life
Hmm.
out here. It's way different. So um, I think I think these songs really stuck out for me. I was able to
Hmm.
find my comfort zone and really just dial in and make these in my bedroom.
Hmm.
And yeah, I think that's where it came across too. Is like It's not that serious. Just let time do its thing. I moved here and like for 3 months I didn't write a song, which
Hmm.
was I was worried about, but you know, the whole It's Not That Serious thing. Everything works out for a
Yes.
reason, and I think the time is what made these tracks so special to me, and
Mhm.
hopefully special to a lot of other people too.
Definitely. And I really love how the theme of It's Not That Serious just really kind of just puts its way into everything
It
that
really
you've been
does,
doing.
honestly.
Yeah. I feel like that's something I'm gonna remember too all the time now after this interview. You know, like, when I get nervous, it's not that serious. Like life is really not that serious.
You just
So
take it
I
day by day. Everything.
exactly.
I think everything works out. Everything will work
Mhm.
out. If you let it.
Definitely. Yeah, especially with everything that's happened in the past year and a half, I think thinking it's not that serious has been, especially with the things that happen in our personal lives, I feel like is a great way to look at everything. And I love that you said, these songs are just like, I would seem like, it seems like a time capsule in your life because it's like
That's
about
exactly what it is.
the certain point in your life when you move to LA and all of that. So I love that you have that to look back on too in the future when you're writing other songs too. But I do want to talk about LA Don't Look Good on You. It's one of your singles off of the EP too. Can you tell us more about what the song is about and what inspired it?
Yeah. So that was actually the first one I wrote when I moved
Mm-hmm,
to LA.
mm-hmm,
Rightfully so. I had
mm-hmm,
visited LA a few times before I moved out here.
mm-hmm.
But moving out here was a totally different experience than just visiting, getting a little taste of the
Yeah,
city.
for sure.
Being out here was a trip. Um, it was really crazy to see
Mm-hmm,
just the different lifestyles. I grew up in a much more slow paced life than
mm-hmm,
what is offered out here and what is seen out here. And
mm-hmm,
I really wanted to write it from the perspective, kind of mixed of what I was seeing at the time, which was being
mm-hmm,
fresh to the city, and then the outsider's perspective, which was how I'd imagine a lot of people see the city, which is
mm-hmm,
everyone there lives this luxurious, incredible life of, they're just rich. They do whatever they want. They party
mm-hmm,
till late at night and they just wake up in the afternoon and just, you know, don't have a care in the
mm-hmm,
world.
mm-hmm,
But then there's also a much more like serious tone to the song where it's like, I don't want to say judgmental, but it's like, you're like, I'm trying to deliver it in a way it's like, that's not how this is, it's all a fairy
mm-hmm.
tale. Um, Obviously there's people that live like that, but to to the people that live here, there are so many people that live here that that lifestyle is just it's just beyond them,
Mm-hmm.
beyond me. Honestly, I don't know how people could do that, but
Yeah.
yeah, I think it was a perfect song to put me in my little comfort zone and kind of get the ball
Mm-hmm,
rolling into writing music, and was was my first was like one of my first attempts in about a year from then,
mm-hmm,
to kind of just like actually say what was on my mind. Um,
mm-hmm,
and a lot of the songs on the EP are very much like that. They're a lot more personal than a lot of my other songs.
mm-hmm.
But yeah, LA Don't Look Good on You was I was just trying to hit the nail on the head with the
Yeah.
stereotypes. So
For sure. I mean, with moving to LA, I mean, there's so many things, obviously, like a lot of people think about LA because, it's certain like this Hollywood and then there's like
yeah,
fame and like rich people, but I'm sure there's so many different sides to it too. So I love that, you're kind of able to put that experience of yours, your personal experience, and put it into the song. But aside from the song too, I love the music video. It was such a vibe too. So
thank
can you tell
you.
us more about what was it like creating the music video?
Yeah, that was my first official music video that I'd
Yeah.
ever done. I mean, I've been putting out music for like 3 or 4 years now, so
Mhm,
having that first official music video is really nice. I'm like somewhat of a picky person when it comes to like
mhm,
the artistry and stuff, so I feel
mhm,
like it was a good thing we waited, found the right team and everything, and
mhm.
the director Olivia Shapiro, she was amazing. It was my first time being in front of camera like that, so I was
Yeah.
extremely nervous, but she did a great job, like helping me, really show that side of myself that was
Mhm,
comfortable in front of the camera. And
mhm.
I just thought it was a good way to like poke fun at the industry out here.
Yeah.
Um, and it's honestly great for the title. It's not that serious because the industry is taken extremely seriously. It's very
Mhm,
cutthroat, but at the end of the day, it's really not that serious. I mean, come on, everyone's just trying to have fun, making
mhm.
music and stuff. And that's like the foundation of it all. So it was a good time. It was good. I'm somewhat of like a satirical person, so
Mhm,
throwing in some like of that kind of humor was good in the music video too. It's just a little piece of myself.
mhm.
That was awesome. It's awesome to see back. It really is a time capsule.
Yeah, for sure. And I love like we keep saying, like it's not that serious. It's really something that you really run with when it comes to your music. And it wasn't even like obvious that it was your first ever like music video. I felt like you're very comfortable. I really love the whole vibe of the music video. So what was it like for you seeing your first ever music video? Like the first time you saw it and you're like, "Oh my God, this is like me."
Yeah, I remember getting the link to my computer, and I was
Yeah.
just looking at it. And it was, at first, it's like almost when I wrote my first song, I was like, I hate this thing.
Mm.
This thing is terrible. So I didn't think it was terrible. You know what I mean? I was just like,
Yeah.
I was just in my head. I was like, well, I could have done that better. I could have done this better,
Mhm, mhm,
whatever. But
mhm.
I watched it back a few more times after that. I was like, no, this is brilliant. Honestly,
Yeah.
like the crew was amazing. Like
Mhm,
I can't say that enough. Honestly, and we did another music video with them. So they're gonna
ooh.
be they're gonna be with us for a long time, I'd imagine. And
Mhm.
yeah, shouts out to them.
Yeah, no, I totally get what you mean. You kind of like cringe in the start, like when you first see yourself, you're like, oh my God,
Right.
like why? But after, like, oh, well, I'm sure with the music video, it was so good. So we're so excited that you were able to put that out, and we are looking forward to all of the other stuff that you have for us. So what else can we expect coming from you, Austin, especially after the release of your latest EP?
Yeah. Honestly, I'm very excited for what's to come next. We got another EP in the works.
Yay!
I mean, I I I can't lie, it's pretty much finished.
Mhm.
Over these past 6 months, I'm not kidding. Like, I feel like I've been writing my best music ever, and just
Ooh.
really nailing down on my sound,
Mhm.
and figuring myself out.
Mhm.
You know, I moved to this little spot here that I'm in, about a year ago, and have
Mhm.
learned a lot about myself recently. I've been sitting in this chair for ages. It feels like, just really nailing down,
Mhm.
what's to come next. But another EP's coming, and I'm very, very, very excited for people to hear it. I've teased it a little bit on my Instagram, and people
Yay!
seem to be pretty stoked about it. So very happy
Yay,
for that.
we're so excited, especially after this last EP. I mean, I love this last EP, so I'm so excited, especially because you said, you feel like you've been making the best music you've ever made. So what exactly about the EP, without spoiling too much, I can imagine, makes it like the best music you've ever made?
I think, ever since I moved here 2 years ago,
Mm-hmm.
I haven't been that comfortable working with other people.
Mm-hmm.
My last EP, It's Not That Serious, was kind of my first approach at like really collaborating with people, on the back end, on the production side of things, and just like, the mixing, just the little detailed things in a song. But with this new stuff, I found myself like really finding my inner circle when it comes to like people I trust with my music in their hands.
Mm-hmm.
And at first, like when I first moved out here, I was terrified of that. My music is like my baby, so I didn't want anybody to touch it. It was mine. But being here in LA, that it'd be a shame to not let other people have their hands on it, because there are
Mm-hmm.
some amazing people here that really know what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
People that are way more experienced than I am right now, that have helped me out a lot and have shown me a few things. And I think that's what it boils down to. I mean, it's the same foundation of me, but you get little sprinkles of some really brilliant people out here too. So
Yes, we love to see it. We love to see the growth. We love to see the collaboration too. So we're so excited for your upcoming EP. But for now, obviously, we are going to listen to It's Not That Serious nonstop, the whole EP, until that EP arrives. So we can't wait for the new EP to come. But before I let you go, Austin, do you have a message to all of your Filipino fans and everyone who's been supporting you?
I just want to say thank you guys so much. I know we haven't met, but it honestly feels like we have, and I can't wait till we actually can. Yeah, you guys are incredible, and I can't wait to meet all of you.
Definitely. We can't wait to have you over. I swear to you, we will sing so well back to you at any of your shows. So we have
I'm so
that to
ready.
all look. Yeah, we have that to look forward to. But thank you so much, Austin, for joining me today here on MYXclusive. I was so happy to have you today. But also to everyone who tuned in to this MYXclusive, don't forget to stream Austin's latest EP, which is called It's Not That Serious. It's available on multiple digital streaming platforms. So make sure to do that and also follow him on his social media. Where can everyone follow you, Austin, so that they can keep updated with all of your music?
On Twitter, on Instagram, everything is ASTN Music. And honestly, pretty much every social platform is the same thing. So at ASTN Music, I like to keep it simple. So
There you go. So guys, make sure to follow Austin everywhere so you guys can keep updated on everything that is going on in his life, especially his music. So once again, thank you so much, Austin, for joining us today.
thank you very much. This was
Yay!
amazing.
Thank you. And thank you as well to everyone who tuned in. Once again, this has been Sam with 2Ms and Austin.